Hello everybody, it's Diego the Rainbow Star Person, and welcome to this YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Now on to this video. So I just recently got a haircut at Chihuahua Organica. It's a salon that has all vegan products. That's why I decided to go there, because I wanted to look for a vegan salon. So if any of you happen to be vegan, I highly recommend checking out Chihuahua Organica if you live in Rochester. That being said, I'm going to talk about cognitive behavioral therapy. But before I get into that topic, check out the way my hair is. It's blue-black. It's been blue-black for a couple weeks now. You can't really see the color as well indoors, but I will take a video outdoors so that you can see the color better at some point. I am currently taking this video indoors because the neighbor is mowing his lawn. So I am in here to help avoid hearing all of that noise. So that is why I'm indoors right now. That being said, I'm going to get into this topic about cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. So CBT can be applied to basically anyone in any situation, which is why I like it so much. And CBT talks about the cognitive triangle, which basically includes the way that your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are all interconnected with each other. So they're all interconnected with each other, which is interesting, and I think it's rather fascinating as well, the way that the human mind works. So the idea is, if you are able to change your thought, change your feelings, or change your behavior, that you will be able to influence the rest of the cognitive triangle. For example, if you change your thought, you can change your feelings and behaviors. If you change your feeling, you can change your behaviors and thoughts. And if you change your behavior, you can change your thoughts and feelings. And vice versa. So that's why I like the cognitive triangle so much. It's a very useful way of visualizing the way CBT works. With CBT, there's also 3 different approaches to it. There's the cognitive approach, which is the approach most people know about, which is about basically changing your thought patterns and rewiring your brain. It actually takes 21 days of repetitive thought pattern changing in order to establish a new neural pathway and a new habit in your brain. There's also the behavioral approach, where you change your own behaviors in order to change your thoughts and feelings. And then there's the mindfulness-based approach, which has to do with being present in the moment, which helps to reduce anxiety and stress and depression as well. So all of those 3 aspects are important, and I'm going to give you an example of these aspects in an example from real life. So a while back, in the winter actually, I ended up crashing my car while I was on the freeway. I basically was driving and the roads were super slippery and icy. And I was braking the car, and then it ended up swerving to the right into a wall right before I was going to the exit. And the front of the car ended up being damaged. But I luckily didn't get hurt at all, and I was okay. It was probably because I wasn't going super fast, and it was snowing a lot. So ever since then, I've gotten anxiety every time I would go start driving in the freeway in the winter. So what I ended up deciding to do was to take a behavioral approach in order to reduce my anxiety. So the behavior was that I would go look for snow tires at the tire shop, and I would basically find a way to make myself feel more safe whenever I drive in the winter. So what I ended up doing with my mom was going to this tire shop to look at a quota for how much the tires would cost when I changed my car tires to snow tires. And that was very reassuring for me, because I know that snow tires help prevent swerving in the winter when it snows. So that's a behavioral approach that I used. I took action and I decided to go and look at snow tires in order to help reduce my anxiety surrounding driving in the winter. Another approach that I will likely take is the cognitive approach. Whenever I start driving in the freeway with my snow tires, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to crash, which is an anxious thought, right? Those are anxious thoughts. Instead of thinking anxious thoughts, thinking more calming thoughts. Thinking, I am doing what I can to stay safe. I am doing what I can to stay safe. I am doing what I can to be safe. Thinking in that way will help reduce my anxiety. So that is basically rewiring thoughts and changing thoughts to change the feelings, creating more of a feeling of calm. I am doing what I can to stay safe creates a feeling of calm when you think that. And that calm feeling thus translating to the behavior, which ends up being, I'm going to drive safely and calmly. So basically keeping my cool and staying chill while I drive with those snow tires on. That is what I picture doing. So that's a cognitive approach because I was changing my thoughts. Now, I could also take a mindfulness-based approach, which would basically be noticing my physical senses. So whenever you have some free time, I recommend trying this exercise, which is basically noticing your 5 senses, noticing 5 things for each of the 5 senses. So noticing 5 things you see, 5 things you taste, 5 things you touch, 5 things you smell, and 5 things you hear. So noticing those 5 things can be a very awesome grounding exercise that can really bring you back into the present moment. Having a mindfulness-based approach means being present in the moment. So instead of thinking, I am going to crash, thinking, I am going to stay in the moment. I am in the present moment. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen in the future. I'm not thinking about what happened in the past. I'm just here in this moment, noticing my physical sensations. So noticing your physical bodily sensations is a great way to ground your own energy and to stay present in the moment. It also helps to reduce anxiety, and it helps to cope with anxious thoughts, because instead of thinking about the future, which is what anxiety is, or being stuck in the past, which is what depression is about, you're in the present moment. You're focused on what you are doing in the present moment, and you're focusing on your physical sensations in the present moment. You're focusing on your exhale in the present moment. And me turning on some music so that I have something to listen to is going to help me really ground and be present. That's a very mindfulness-based approach. So cognitive behavioral therapy, again, has 3 different approaches. It has the cognitive approach, which involves changing your thoughts. It has the behavioral approach, which involves changing your behaviors. And it involves mindfulness-based approach, which basically is just being present in the moment. So Having those 3 approaches in your arsenal will definitely help you soothe any kinds of anxiety that arise while you are practicing these techniques. And it's super useful. Also, I recommend goal setting. So setting a goal and basically deciding what you would like to improve in your life. And then for 21 consecutive days, thinking about things in a new way. Because the reason I say 21 days is it takes 21 days to establish a new habit. So rewiring your thoughts, you've got to think about the same thing for 21 days, such as, for example, I am doing what I can to be safe. Thinking that in my mind every time I go out driving in the freeway will help me stay calm. And you can think of your own idea of a thought pattern that you want to replace your previous thought pattern with. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to this and that this was helpful, hopefully in some way. Peace out, much love, and may you all be free. Mwah.